this. So man, people talking about Tom Brady. How old is Tom Brady now? 43.
43, bro.
Okay, so if I could like break down some soccer Tom Brady's, your boy Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he's 37,
Man, he the same age.
still playing professional soccer. That's what I'm saying. So like, I mean, here's the thing. They've protected the quarterback more and more the past 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Someone like Tom Brady. Um, there's no like protecting these soccer players. Like it's the same. It's almost the same game as it was 10 years ago in terms of just the physicality of it. Um,
Because it ain't as physical as football. Anyway.
but it's not a. But a typical soccer player is gonna have probably hit the ground more in a game than Tom Brady did in the Super Bowl. To be flat out honest with you.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, but guess what though? They're not gonna hit the ground more times than Mahomes did.
No.
They couldn't. Oh, bro, it was hard to watch, and I hate the Chiefs, but I like.
But I mean, do you think that Mahomes was maybe not ready for the moment?
Did you see the throws he was making while with three people on him and falling, hitting people all in the face with the ball, and they was dropping it?
Yeah, I saw that happen a couple of times.
They couldn't block those ends, man. Pierre Paul and Shaq Barrett just was coming too hard off the edge. And Kansas City was playing with the backup tackles. Those weren't their starting tackles. So on both sides, they was just playing through.
What I'm saying is like not from a performance, but from a preparation standpoint. You know what I mean? We always talk about performance, which it seemed like he was trying to make the plays and whatnot. But the quarterbacks, as you know, preparation is so crucial. You know what I mean? And I hadn't heard enough people comment on that, if that makes sense, because if that for all you said was true about, now I know that his receivers haven't been dropping balls all year, but I don't think anyone expected the Tampa defense to get to him like they did. But should that have been something that they should have prepared for?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like they ever was able to make any kind of adjustments to get some tight ends out there to chip off the edge. Obviously they like to use Kelce and he's a route runner. And if you keep him in the block, he's not the best blocker anyway, but you take away your best receiver. So, you kind of got to bring in those backup tight ends and get some help off the edge and chip your backs, which is a big part of the offense is getting their backs out in the space and running routes. So either way, you had to they had to give something up, for what they offense, how the offense is built. So yeah, I don't think they made I didn't see them really make any adjustments. I don't think that's on Mahomes though. I think that's kind of on the coaches to kind of put him in situations where they could block him because he can't. I mean, he was running for his life all night long, man. And
for sure.
And even you got Barrett and what's the other guy? Pierre Paul on the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Then they send in buku pressure from the cornerbacks too. And so you got Sue in the middle, putting pressure. I mean, like it's just like you couldn't get away from him. So Sue get the penetration up front. He smacked Mahomes one good time, and it's like, damn, you see that, and it's like, okay. But it was second quarter, you kind of knew. And the one the chance that Kansas City kind of had, the flag started to fly on them. So you had the bad personal foul, you had the PI against Mike Evans on the throw down the field up the left sideline where he kind of tripped and they gave him a flag on that. The
right.
Matthew ball was kind of uncatchable. I didn't think that was PI. You know, as a receiver, I look for PI. You know, we look for PI. You know, but if it's a legit call, I'm gonna say that wasn't. I didn't think the ball was catchable anyway, but I didn't think that was PI just because he got a good jam on him. But the flags came out against Kansas City. They got behind it, and Tampa Bay just set up to where they running game and play action is just gonna hold. They can hold the ball for a long time just because they got two big nasty backs and they got Gronkowski and Tom Brady. So
yeah,
that was it.
Well, let me ask you about this real quick. You know, I think a lot of people. I mean, not a lot of people, but you know, the average fan probably doesn't realize that. You know, Jason Pierre-Paul and Ndamukong Suh, like those guys have been in the league. Those are both like 10-year plus veterans in the league. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Both of them. I think Jason Pierre-Paul's got to be like early 30s, maybe mid 30s. I know Ndamukong Suh is at least like 33, 5, or something like. He's got to be mid 30s. I know for sure.
Yep.
So, you know, that experience alone, I think, you know, helped them maybe, you know, provide that sort of comfort, you know, and to the rest of the guys. But man, some of those guys were hungry. You know, they're trying to get their first Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
But guys Jason Pierre-Paul, he played with the Giants.
Yeah, they are
with Eli.
Yeah, he got a Super Bowl already, and Suh had a Super Bowl appearance where he played for the Rams, you know, against the Patriots and lost to Tom Brady in that one too.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy to think. By the way, do you know when Jason Pierre? You know how Jason Pierre-Paul he have you ever seen his hand? It looks like this.
Yeah, because he got his blasted off by fireworks.
He's got 3 fingers. He's literally got like these 2 fingers, and they wrap it up. It's almost like a club, but
yep.
I mean, the guy, poor guy. Don't play with fireworks, kids.
Don't play with fireworks, man. Like, don't.
I mean, how good do you have to be to lose 3 fingers and still start for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and win a Super Bowl?
He's always been good, and the fireworks didn't slow his legs down. I wonder how he does bench press now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of adjustment he got to do to his lifting program?
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
But as far as
I didn't think about that.
Totally unaffected. He played hard.
It was really a boring game. I mean, you know, and then of course, you know, the commercials were interesting. The halftime show was I just never like halftime shows in general. Like, I don't like watching concerts on TV. Right. I don't get the significance of that. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. Music sounds good to me either coming out of my stereo or whatever, but watching live performances on TV, it just doesn't sound all that good. You know what I mean? It's like you got to be there.
Yeah.
More people were commenting on that. It's
still you know, but it ain't the same. It's clearly it's definitely not the same. But you know, you had a few things that have taken place at halftime that were kind of cool, I guess. You had, I mean, Michael Jackson back in the day. That was pretty tight.
Prince,
Beyonce.
Let's not forget last year, J-Lo and Shakira.
They did a good job. They
did good. They sang very well.
They did.
They were good choreographed dancing.
Beyonce had the get information situation, you know, and everybody was all mad that she came out and was supposed to be like the Black Panthers and whatnot, and everybody.
Yeah, that was messed up, dude. What was she thinking? Come on, Beyonce.
All right.
What
Beyonce.
about the dude from Maroon 5 a couple years ago, like taking off his shirt? We're like, what are we
What's his name?
doing here?
What's his name? Levine.
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine. Yeah.
Everybody was so mad at Adam Levine. No, I'm sorry. Nobody said nothing about Adam Levine taking off his shirt. But as soon as J-Lo and Shakira started dancing, all these feminists were like, "This is embarrassing to women everywhere." You know what I mean?
Yeah, them
But
people.
anyway,
such a double standard.
What about commercials?
We can't forget the nip slip of
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake, yeah.
I think they came out and said that was planned though, right?
Well, of course it was planned. Yeah,
he was like, I'm gonna pull it back.
It was like Squints and Wendy Preference. And that, of course I did. Been planning it for years. Look, Max and Malachi be saying that to each other because they watched the movie so
really
much. They could quote the whole thing.
That's funny. So favorite commercial?
Man, I don't even know if I remember any of the commercials, man. I can't even.
By the way, do you realize how much money the past 2 years State Farm has missed out on Aaron Rodgers making the Super Bowl? I saw some crazy stat. Like, the past years he's been put out in the NFC
last 4 years
championship. But in terms of him and Mahomes facing the Super Bowl, the two State Farm guys.
Right. Big money.
Like, they talked about how if he made one of those two Super Bowls, what it would have done for them in terms of financially, and as well as Rodgers and Mahomes,
right?
Because they'd already had those commercials out and stuff.
It was like it's the same as like when they had Nike, when Nike was doing the Kobe versus LeBron puppets, and LeBron was supposed to make it, but LeBron and them lost to the Magic, so it kind of got shut down. And that was one of the things that LeBron said that before Kobe even died, that he was like, when Kobe was doing his retirement, he was like, I feel bad, I let him down, that I didn't make it to the finals and we get the chance to play against each other in the finals. And I was like, I kind of wanted that to happen too, because a head-to-head matchup in the finals between them, could have like answered a lot of questions. Like, hey, who won head to head? That would have been it.
Mm-hmm.
But that never happened.
So, did you pay attention to commercials or no?
Nah, man, I didn't. I'm sorry that I came here unprepared.
Dude, I saw one that was like, no. That's what we do. We just come from the hip. Right. So I saw a Bruce Springsteen commercial, right? There was actually a Jeep commercial, which had nothing to do with cars. Why is it that car commercials these days have nothing to do with cars? Absolutely zero to do with the type of vehicle.
Because cars don't sell cars. People sell cars.
And bro, they want to start getting all poetic. This Jeep commercial that Bruce Springsteen is, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. The boss.
The boss.
Yeah, that's the boss.
This commercial had me really, it was about America, the division, and at the very end it said, the reunited States of America.
Reunite.
Jeep.
And it feels so good.
But then it was like Jeep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got dudes like, I'm gonna go buy a Jeep because I'm American. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
some people really gonna buy a Jeep because of that commercial, though.
Bro, really though? Really? Does this marketing really make someone want to go buy a Jeep because of a Super Bowl commercial that Bruce Springsteen wrote a poem about America?
Yeah, man.
The reunited States. I mean, that kind of sounds weird. The reunited States.
It's lame.
Is that sacrilegious, but
I wouldn't. It's lame.
All right.
It's like
anyway. So,
I'm looking through, right, I like the one about the commercial with Tom Brady and Gronk, like how he was trying to talk over the network and then it got messed up and it like Gronk ended up translating it like, yeah, come back and play with me. We're gonna go win it. So yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Dude, Tom Brady's throwing the Lombardi trophy, just like throwing it like it's a football. He doesn't care. Those other guys are like freaking out because he's throwing the trophy. He's like, it's just a trophy, dog. All right, Malcolm, I'll see you later. All right, we're calling it quits. All right. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. One of Malcolm's kids is probably acting up.
No, man, my kids don't act up. They're the best behaved kids you ever met in your life. But
they're so proper. So proper.
About Tom Brady, because I gotta go ahead and get it out there. Everybody knows that I don't really like Tom Brady, really. I'm not a fan. Because
of Oakland. Let's get past it. Come on. The Tuck rule, whatever.
And like I just been hating on them ever since. But actually, except when they played the Rams in the Super Bowl, I was pulling for the Patriots. Other than that, I'm like, they saying he the greatest of all time already. I ain't really seen it. Now he is one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game. But look at the game the other night. And just look at the run game and the defense. He has never, I'm not gonna say that because he really has done everything. So he has won some games with prolific passing. He's definitely very clutch. He's definitely accurate. But you know, I just think that guys like Peyton Manning, if they played on that Patriots team in that system and with that kind of defense, that they will win. I look at an Aaron Rodgers and I see like him being able to do everything that Brady can do and actually do a little bit more. And I think Mahomes too.
I don't.
It's too early.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. I'm going to tell you why. Because unlike Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady is focused on one thing. Winning. He wants to win as bad as Aaron Rodgers wants to do a State Farm commercial.
Same with Peyton Manning too.
And drink beer. Like, have you noticed? Think about it. Just all the athletes. When has Tom put himself out there on a public viewpoint in terms of marketing himself with a whole lot of commercials and tying his name to products? Can you think of any?
GQ. He did GQ magazine.
Okay, but
a couple times.
No. I'm talking about, you know, like he created his own brand. Mm-hmm. He started showing the press conferences with TB. That's some Tiger Woods stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys didn't attach themselves to anything else. They said, I'm the man. I'm doing this. Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. He started the thing. You know what I mean? Right. Point I'm trying to make is that I just feel like that I feel like Tom has certain leadership qualities that makes other players around him better.
For sure.
More so than an Aaron Rodgers or a Peyton Manning. If you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
Not that those aren't great players.
Yeah.
And I feel like that Mahomes may get there, but the question will be not is he going to be skilled enough, but will he have the leadership qualities to take Kansas City to the next level? Because they got the coaching staff, they've got the personnel, they've got the skills. But again, I honestly just feel like all great winners were leaders who made everyone around them better.
I think that Mahomes is already there. I mean, he's had 3 years as a starter. He has gone to the AFC Championship and lost to Brady in Arrowhead again, you know. Then they won the Super Bowl against a tough 49ers team last year. This year they lost to Tampa.
Did you say 49ers?
Yeah, they lost to the 40. They beat the 49ers last year.
It was the Rams that lost 2 years before. That's right. 2 years before that, Rams, then 49ers. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. The 49ers were in the Super Bowl last year. That's just odd.
Right. Because all their players got hurt this year. Like they couldn't really even get that going. So, but Mahomes is already like on that level as far as where Brady was at this point in his career. So, if he continues to, if they keep the people around him, keep those pieces together, if they can protect him, he gonna make plays. I mean, bro, the throws that he was making, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, if he does too much publicly and gets his mind off football and doesn't want to chase Tom Brady, because I think Tom Brady came in the league chasing Joe Montana. You know what I'm saying? Chasing being the best. It's clear to see that he wants to be known as the best of all time. He doesn't like hide from that. So, I think Mahomes has that approach right now, but I don't know if he's going to be able to sustain that for 20 years like Brady did. And and another reason, just to kind of rebut what you were saying about Manning and Rodgers, I just never seen them have the caliber of defensive prowess that some of these Brady-led teams have had. You look at teams that had Willie McGinnis and Richard Seymour up front, and Vince Wilforks of the world, and the Teddy Brusches and the Mike Vrabels. Like, these guys were highly intelligent. Ty Law, Rodney Harrison, you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are really good. Asante Samuel, all of them, man. They had a lot of good players come. The offense has been interchangeable. Troy Brown, Deion Branch, they was good. Some of those guys could play. They've had a lot of guys that can play. Aaron Hernandez. But Brady has been the guy in that offense for sure. But the year they had Corey Dillon and won with him, like, the run game was solid. They was most of their sits in the 04-05 season, whenever that was, when they had Corey Dillon running the ball. Most of their sets was two tight ends. They rolling two tight ends out and running the ball and getting a lot of play action. And in the other years, when they spreading it out, as he's got older, he dinking and dunking at Julian Edelman and those guys. So I just think that you put Peyton Manning over there, he could do the same thing. I just think that with that defense.
Well, what about you're talking about the defense, mention the defense. Just a lot of that comes down to the defensive coordinator, who the defensive coach is, all that stuff. Yep. They, like I said, can you, the whole thing with Brady and Gronk, I mean, that was huge. To get, for Brady to be able to get Gronk. I mean, that's his guy, and they knew each other. And, like I said, chemistry plays a big part in it. Veteran leadership plays a big part in it. But again, man, it's just there's still a fine line of not just the quarterback playing well. And of course, the quarterback's always the face of it. But, again, I know Peyton is a great player. I know that, whoever, Brett Favre and whatnot, may not had as good of teams and whatnot, or whoever. But then you think of quarterbacks like, you can name quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls that, Trent Dilfer, you know what I mean? Mm. Was he the leader on his team? Absolutely not. That was probably someone like a Ray Lewis, he led from a defensive standpoint, you know what I mean? And I just feel like that when you watch Tom and when you see him on the sidelines, he kind of has that way about him, if that makes sense, that all the players, they just kind of, they respond to it.
They trust him.
They
want to follow.
They trust him. Right. Right. It. When he got there, right. But
I respect
it's still a team sport. Right. I mean, when it's all said and done, it's still a team sport, and none of those guys' rings is going to be bigger than the next one of them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? All the rings going to be the same size, and I know Tom Brady was MVP, but when it's all said and done, man, that's a memory that, Tom, just thinking about myself, it's not going to go to bed going, yes, I just won my 7th Super Bowl and it's all about me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he has that mindset of, man, we did it. You know what I mean? We did it. He's more or less like beating the odds, That's
Yeah.
like been his MO, really,
Right. Right.
Anyway, that's what I was saying. He's not all about me, but
He
really
doesn't shy away from the me factor. The I am Tom Brady. He embraces that role. He knows some people love him. He knows some people hate him, and
right.
he feed off of it, and that drives him. So, like I said, I got a ton of respect for him as a player. Honestly, I don't dislike Tom Brady more so than like in a real way. It's just about football. He's my football villain, though. You know what I'm saying? He's the bad for me, just to make it more interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have fun with it, but I mean, I just think
the Saints are my football villain.
Really? Because they put the bounty gate on Brett Favre.
Because of Bounty Gate, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Bounty Gate.
Yeah. So that's and the Patriots, like, I still hate on them, but it's not the same hate that.
And John Elway a little bit too, because Brett might have won 3 if not for the John Elway, But anyway, we've been talking NFL football.
Yeah, I hated.
We've been talking NFL for a minute. So, I know not many people are watching, but still got to say, man, congrats on your new job. Officially, you're the new head football coach at a 5A public high school in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, McKinley High. Going back home to where it all started, the Panthers.
That's right.
Now, is it true that you're going to apply to have the school name officially changed to the McKinley Black Panthers?
No, sir. But
is your mascot a Black Panther?
It is actually a Black Panther, man. Panthers.
So just go in, dog. Just make it the Black Panthers. The mascot could be running around. He can have a black glove on and stuff, and a blue McKinley jersey. What? Yeah, The only reason I said that, the only reason I thought of that is because I watched Forrest Gump yesterday for the first time in years.
Oh, man. Can I say it?
Forrest Gump. He beat that dude up, and then he was like, sorry, I ruined your Black Panther party.
I'm sorry, I ruined your Black Panther party.
Yeah. Anyway, that movie is great. Anyway, what was you gonna say?
Nothing. I just wanted to say that line. Sorry.
You wanted to say that line?
Party.
Yeah.
Jenny.
Forrest had no idea.
He shouldn't be touching you, Jenny.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
but I do know what love is. All right, but my bad, man. Thank you, though. Thank you, bro. It's been
So I mean, all right. So I know it's a lot to like digest, and just you're trying to figure out there's probably a million things running through your mind. And I remember when I got my first head coaching job, like I was ready to start that day. You know what I'm saying? Like ready. And I actually walked into a situation where the talent was there, but they had never had really a coach to teach them the proper way of doing things, take them to the next level. But I had never really, I'd been an assistant at like these high profile schools where we just had players, just players, The hardest part was to try to pick which dude is better than the other really good dude, So, you know what I'm talking about? So, but my whole life and related to athletics was the underdog role, building something new.
Right.
Whether it was select baseball or select soccer. I was on 2 teams that started with nothing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Both years of, select baseball, soccer, we won like one game, a few games, which a few years later we're state champions. Same thing in high school. I get to a program that's never had a team before. We go win 2 games first year, 2-16 first year, 17-2 4 years later. Same thing when I get to college at Valley with football and baseball and even golf.
Yep.
We won freaking 3rd place in the first ever golf trophy in Valley history. We won that. And big shout out to Scotty Richmond. He was also a part of that. He shot the low round. Okay. But what I'm saying is, so when I got to this first job, I was used to that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew how to make kids believe. And I know that that's what you're stepping into. So my question to you is, have you thought about how you're going to approach that, and what are you going to really focus on, your emphasis?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's my experience as a player have been the same thing,
I know it has. Yeah.
Right. So, when I was in Little League ball, I might have won 1 game, but I played hard, and I tried to push my teammates to play hard. And that was over my junior year and my senior year. We won like 1 game. So in high school, McKinley went 0-10 my 8th grade year. So when I came into high school, I'm coming into a losing streak, So by the time we left, by the time I graduated, though, we had back-to-back winning seasons. Same thing at Valley. So, and the cool thing about it, both of those teams were led by first-year alumni coaches when I got there. So Coach Calvin Nicholas was his first year as head coach was my 9th grade year at McKinley, and Willie Totten's first year at Valley was my freshman year, So
right.
Just kind of modeling off what they did, which was get the community back involved. Everybody's excited. They got an alumni coach. I can feel the same kind of energy right now because it's a good marketing strategy. First off, so definitely got to get the support of the community to kind of galvanize and get back excited about things. Assess the talent that we have. Try to find we don't have to find a good group of freshmen to come in and work. I mean, go to work, man, and find those kids that's gonna step into leadership roles and buy in and bring in guys from that's kind of cut from the same cloth as me to help me out and kind of can understand some kind of championship pedigree. And it's all about a mindset, dog. That's what I learned more than anything else. I'll never forget a conversation I had with Coach Nicholas when I was about 10th grade. And he said, ears, because that's what he called me. He said, ears, if I can get everybody to believe, we gonna win. I don't know if everybody believes right now, but once I get everybody to believe, that's the key word. And that stuck with me. And I was like, Coach, I believe. And that was it. I'll never forget that conversation. 10th grade, like after practice, he might have been dropping me off at the house. We might have just been sitting around waiting for everybody to get picked up. But it was just me and him having a conversation. And I think he kind of knew that he could reach me. You know what I'm saying? Because he saw the effort that I gave, because I just have a lot of love and passion for the game, man. And that's, that is what I fed off my coach's energy. And so I just got to make sure that I keep bringing the same energy that I always have, bro, as an assistant coach, and just let that infect the whole team, because I want to be hands-on with as many of the kids as possible, and just do my best. And that's really it, bro. There's a lot of different things you got to go into being a head football coach. A lot on a 5A level in the state of Louisiana. A lot of the press that comes with that. I could say it on my show that I'm definitely not in it for all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about the kids first, and it's about winning. And obviously, if I do win and have success, then it's gonna reflect on me regardless. So I don't gotta focus on that part. I just gotta focus on the process, and the results are gonna come. And what potentially could happen if we have a successful football program at McKinley High School, the sky is the limit when it comes to that, man. And it's just gonna be good for the whole city of Baton Rouge, honestly. And the city needs some good because there's a lot going on that ain't that good. So
right.
that's just how I'm approaching it right now, and I'm taking it all in, and I'm trying to learn as much as possible and study and get better. But it's gonna take a lot of work, and I ain't gonna be able to do it by myself. So I'm just humbly approaching the workload that is
for sure. Man, I'm like I said, I'm excited for you, and I'll be at your first game, regardless of when it is, where it is, I'll be there. And it's the only, like, I think back to my first year as a head coach 8 years ago, and I was hungry, Reed.
Mm-hmm.
I was, first day, I'm like, we're gonna win a state championship. You know what I mean? I'm all in, right? Because I knew we were close. We actually went to the state championship my first year as a head coach, and got blasted.
Got blasted.
We got blasted, and it was a simple fact of me as a 20-something-year-old head coach. The lights weren't too big for me, but I wasn't prepared, and I wasn't in a place professionally yet to even knew I needed to be prepared. You know what I mean? Earlier we talked about preparation. The coach I was going up against, he was 60-year-old fella. You know what I mean? He'd been around, this was before I really got – actually, this ass whooping was something that really kind of motivated me to, like, man, I got to step my game up. You know what I mean? There's so much more to it than what I've known previously to this moment. It was very humbling, and I still have nightmares about that day.
Yeah.
But for my kids, the lights were definitely too big. They weren't ready for the moment. They were just so ecstatic to be there,
right,
that I don't think that they could grasp their heads around, the importance of the moment itself. So, anyway, it's like I said, man, if I could give you any advice, it's just one thing that I've forgotten is that these kids that sign up to play, whatever sport it is, soccer for me, football for you, like, you have something that they want. And if you could push them to a point if you could push them to that thin line where they can decide, yes, I want this, or no, I don't, then you'll figure out who's going to roll with you till the very last whistle blows.
Show.
You know what I mean? And
show.
I'm guilty of forgetting that. You know what I mean? And giving them an inch and letting them take a mile, or saying it's okay. Man, the other day, I walked into the locker room, Monday, day after Super Bowl. It's our first day of off-season training. A small part of me in the back of my head was like, man, I might just let them just scrimmage today. I'm tired, And I'm thinking like, and then a part of me I've kind of had this mantra the past couple of weeks, like, I'm tired of losing. That's my new motto. I'm gonna get some shirts made and give it all the kids. I'm tired of losing, because
sick and tired of being sick.
And I realized that, you know what? We're gonna run this 2 miles today. We're gonna do these push-ups and sit-ups, and I'm gonna figure out who wants it, And if they're willing to go all in on it, then we're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I hope that you get as many kids as you need that want it as bad as you do, because, that'll make your job a lot easier. If you got 50, 60 kids behind you that are, willing to run through a brick wall for you and each other, and the coaching staff too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Football coaching staffs, man, look, you've been on football coaching staffs.
Gotta be like that.
Man, all it takes is one bad apple on a football coaching staff to just stir the pot, and it's like a cancer, I mean, do you have experience in that? Like, am I? I mean, I've been on one college.
100%.
I've been on one high school football coaching staff, and when I was a GA at Valley for that 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
But even as a GA, or even before it was a GA, man, like some of these coaches, they were at each other's throat. I mean, it ultimately led to some missed opportunities for our football team in college due to the lack of commitment that coaches had to each other.
It can have a lot of negative effects, but I mean, just on the other side of the coin, it's gonna make or break you. The staff that you have and the relationship that the staff has with each other is gonna make and break the program. So, I mean, obviously, I keep hearing it, but everyone says it ain't always the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes. But if you got the Jimmys and the Joes,
I've never heard that before.
Oh man, yeah, I've heard it a lot.
Is this a black thing?
No.
Is this a McKinley Black Panther thing?
No, man, it's a football coaching.
This is a McKinley Black Panther thing. Don't lie to me, Rick.
I'm not lying at all. I heard it from the white.
All right, I'm just messing with you.
Coaches. No, but if you got them Jimmys and the Joes and you ain't getting no wins, then you in trouble. Then your job on the line. If you got the talent and you ain't winning,
pressure.
It's real.
The pressure starts.
If you got no talent and you got no expectations. Excuse me, as long as you stay competitive, you're probably gonna be safe. I ain't here to be just competitive, man.
I'm tired of losing. When I say I'm tired of losing, that don't mean I'm losing. Like I'm not having losing records. Like I'm still winning division championships, but like I want to win the whole thing. I want to win the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I've been there. I've been there too many times.
Bro, I think, and this is where I use, Kobe Bryant as an inspiration and as a teacher and as a mentor, because, he, like you were saying, you came in that practice and you was like, man, I'm tired. He always talked about how that was his biggest opponent, not the opponent itself, but the opponent that's within yourself that wanna relax, that wanna slow down, that wanna, not work as hard, even though you work hard. And some
is that Satan?
Is that Satan? No, that ain't Satan, man. Is it?
That ain't Satan that's trying to good, the devil and the angel on your shoulder. Yeah, that might be Satan, dog. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, because that's a good way to look at it, because it's not, if God has a purpose in your life, and God has a purpose for you, and your purpose is gonna take that level of commitment, it's gonna take that level of work and dedication, then you gotta, and in that determination and discipline, you gotta acknowledge that the whatever is working against that purpose must be the opposite of God and working against God. And who works against God? The evils.
Because what you're trying to do is more important for so many more people than just yourself.
Yes.
Like you will be less impacted from the work that you do in this next calendar year than anybody else that is around you or associated with you. And that's just a fact. That's the coach's life. And can I break out a Black History quote real quick, Reed?
Always.
Okay. So every week I write like a little quote on this little board right in front of the cafeteria at the school,
Mm-hmm.
So it was Black History Month. So I did, Martin Luther King last week. And I did Jackie Robinson this week. and it was a life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that was, like I said, I didn't do too much about Jackie Robinson. I mean, I've seen a lot of the documentaries and I know about him. I'm just saying in terms of, I'd never heard that quote with his name, and I was more so putting it up on the board for my teacher friends, because, a lot of teachers forget who they are sometimes. I'm not implying that. I'm just
right.
In general, that they have a huge role to play in the impact they have on kids. I just thought that was phenomenal because, people are still talking about Jackie Robinson and the impact that he had on others. I think that's fitting, especially, and like what you're talking about doing is, I know it's nice to win and have that gratitude, but it's also nice to know that you're responsible for the happiness of thousands of other people.
Right.
Which you, my friend, have the opportunity to do in the next, couple of years. And I'll be rooting for you for sure.
And man, I'm going to say this and then we can move on to the next topic. Because I want to thank my Santa Mar people for, that opportunity, man. Coach David Oliver, who's the head coach, he was the OC of Southern in 2003. When Quincy Reshaw was the quarterback, they broke all those records and won the Black National Championship. They beat us in Jackson.
2003?
Yeah, that year. The Ezra Landry. That's his name, the little guy that took the kickoff to the house.
The opening kickoff to the house.
Yeah. So that coach was the OC. And a lot of my friends played on that team, guys who I'm cool with to this day. But that was a connection that we had. But he offered me that job and he really knew that I had aspirations to be a head coach, and he said he was going to help me, and he has. And now, 2 years later after moving over there, I'm heading right back to McKinley as the head coach. But what I realized, man, when it came out that I was leaving, and I told all my classes first before it got public. I talked to each class individual and my students. And man, the reactions that they gave was it was hard to see how sad they were, but it's man, they literally was saying things like, I feel safe in this class. I feel like I could be myself in this class. You can't, we don't want you to leave because we've been in your class for a month and you this the impact that you made on us already. And I'm just dang, I felt almost guilty for leaving, you know what I'm saying? But also thinking about,
that's always tough, man.
Oh, it was hard, bro. I was not I faced it head on and I tried my best to let everybody know who I could personally, that I had a personal relationship with, but it was just too many people to do that with. And I'm sorry for those who I didn't. But yeah, man. So I see the impact that I have, that and the ability that I have to make impacts on people's lives in a positive way. So if I only take this opportunity to grow my platform for one thing, and then just thinking about it from the Mamba mentality side of it, it's going to be a humongous challenge. But if I told the students this, that we always talk in class about how you have to get uncomfortable to grow. And I'm comfortable right now at Santa Mar because I'm so close to home and things like that. But I'm gonna make myself uncomfortable and challenge myself to grow. And I got to bet on myself that I'll be able to do it. So that's basically where I'm at with it, bro.
Well, so you start actually into this month, is that right?
March 1st will be my first day at McKinley.
All right.
I had to finish month at St. Amar.
Okay, that's good. Props to that. I know we about getting there, but look, man, it's been kind of quiet. Mississippi, we we just talk a lot about what we were doing and stuff. I do want to put out there that um, our house voted for a Mississippi teacher pay raise and assistant teacher pay raise.
Nice.
So it's cleared the House. Now it's got to go to the Senate. Does that sound right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
House to the Senate. Yeah.
There was only 3 people who nayed it, and it's public. You know what I mean? Like you can literally see who said no against that. What you're thinking, like, come on, man.
Who voting against
like
teachers?
Really?
Who doing that?
You three people were like, no. Like who's?
Glad. Keep the teachers away.
I don't.
What?
Anyway,
that
especially with what all we've had to, you know that during all the COVID stuff, like there's still schools and stuff, Reed, that haven't gone back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think people around the United States have grasped that there's kids that haven't been to school since we got out last March. Like then you got these sorry excuse for teachers that up in Chicago, I think it is, that are going on strike. Like, come on, man. Really?
Why are they sorry? If they're not getting paid what they all right, I don't know what they're getting paid. And I saw the strike, and I don't know if they wages, if they, Chicago got a different cost of living to do down here, man. If they making somewhere around the same thing as us, they probably gonna be in trouble.
No, they're not. They're not at all. But I'm just saying, in terms of thinking about the children and the kids, like why is our government not focused on making this an issue? Like if we can do it in Mississippi and Louisiana and down south and all over the United States, why are some states still opposed to starting school back and getting these kids back in school, man? This is just detrimental to so many families, communities. Did I tell you the story my wife told me about the Waffle House that's behind where she works at the hair salon? Have I told you the story? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jackson Public Schools, they did virtual learning. Okay, they did virtual learning from August all the way through the end of December, right? So a lady who worked at the Waffle House worked the morning shift, which is like, I don't know, what, 6 to whatever, afternoon, whatever. So this lady had to bring her 3 kids with her to work every single day she worked. She didn't work every day, but the days she had to work, she had to bring them to school. They literally sat in their mother's car for basically the entire shift because they didn't have Wi-Fi at their house. So they had to do all the virtual learning either inside the car or inside the Waffle House when they weren't busy.
Using the Wi-Fi. Yeesh. Ugh.
So,
damn.
But I mean, like, again, this is just one example of a mother who doesn't have the resources to send her kids to daycare because when she was sending them to school, they were getting 2 meals. They were getting breakfast and lunch.
Right.
They were getting to ride the bus, and they were the kids that were 3 kids that were the oldest one wasn't old enough to stay at home and take care of the younger 2. You know what I mean? Like they weren't old enough to stay at home by themselves, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's just I know the unions in Chicago. Reed, they got teacher unions in Chicago. Anyway,
we got them.
It's just
y'all have unions.
I don't think we do, man. I don't think we do.
So
anyway,
there's a National Federation of Teacher Union too, so you can join that if you was interested, and they gave you some perks. It costs money, but there are perks for it. And then there's Louisiana has its own version of a teachers union. So, man, it is a crazy situation because the people just neglect the children when it comes to education. Not and this was going on before COVID, bro, and the COVID just made it worse. But these people in government, the policymakers, I mean, you got people voting against teacher raises. Like, come on now, why are you voting against that? What you have to gain by taking money out of my pocket?
Think about the decisions they make on other stuff that impacts us.
Right. It's so many different. You know, I don't even want to get into all of it, but you know, it affects me directly. So I do pay closer attention to, you know, what's going on in the public school section. And you look at people like Betsy DeVos, who was the Secretary of Education and never even taught in the school, worked in the school. Like that don't make sense to me. And it's like it's a game to those people. And like, oh, so since Trump won her and we're a Republican and we got the majority, let's all vote for her. But how why are people voting for this person because of the bipartisanship or whatever and not thinking about the kids first? I don't know Betsy DeVos, and she might not be a terrible person, but she clearly ain't got no experience with education. So why is she even a candidate? And why are people so petty that they got to vote for her just because the Republican president say so? What about the kids, and what about these people who teaching these kids, man? It don't make no sense.
Yeah, it's, you know, because regardless of all that, like you said, Republican, Democrat, liberal, no party affiliated, all these teachers have to work together for the same common goal, which is the kids, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, man, I am hoping, praying that when our school year ends, we will go into next school year with no more mask mandates.
Oh my God.
Can we turn the freaking water fountains back on? I got kids just dying in PE class. I'm having to like go buy cases of water and leave in the storage room because these kids are like, I'm not gonna drink out of the faucet, coach. Like, you want me to drink out of the water faucet where I wash my hands? I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm not drinking out of that. So eventually it got to the point where I had to start buying cases of water. So these kids in PE aren't, you know, dying. I mean, of thirst, you know, anyway. But you know, it's just that kind of stuff that's frustrating. I mean, water fountains, dog. It ain't like, you know,
right.
How many kids you know be putting their mouth on like this? Or they have in elementary school elementary school, maybe.
What are you doing? Water fountain.
Ava told me that. I remember Ava came home last year. She was like, "Dad, I don't drink out of the water fountain. So and so puts his mouth on it." I'm like, "What?" So yeah, he'd be sucking it out right when it comes out. I'm like, she was like, I tried to tell him that it comes up and you could just put your mouth on that part, but anyway, you got to turn that water pressure up.
You're smart.
But still, Reed, they stopped selling water in the vending machines. Why? They stopped COVID protocol. They don't want all these kids touching these buttons on the machine, son. What are we doing, dog? I mean, it's just anyway. We finally look. I know it's getting late. We got on late, but Yellow Wolf and Caskey. Okay, been a problem. I'm gonna play the first 5 seconds and tell me if you like it. All right.
All right, go.
It's gonna it's gonna catch you off guard because I gotta turn it down real quick. Hold on.
All right.
I know you're gonna laugh too because you just laugh at me when I like music like this. You ready? You heard it?
Yeah.
Look, been a lot of haters call it quits. Being with this head rapping shit. Been a lot of warnings, but I just been a
We don't.
There it is. That's all I can give you.
Music. We don't own the rights to this music.
Nope. I don't even know who that was, by the way. But anyway, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, we don't own that. We don't own that at all. But yeah, it was nice. It got me hyped up the first time I heard it. But
yeah, you know I gotta have a
man,
game playlist, weight room playlist. You know I'm about to go hard. You know
I bet I could get. I know I can already listen. First off, all my players and future players, stop trying to make my playlist for me. I'm gonna give y'all a few songs, but some of the stuff y'all request to me is just garbage. Okay, don't nobody want to hear Bad Bunny and whoever else. Oh God, dude, don't even get me started. But I know you're gonna have a Linkin Park song on there, right? Maybe.
I had Linkin Park on my baseball playlist.
You don't think that's a football thing? Dude, our football coach this past year, they had a Beastie Boys Sabotage song. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Whoo! When it came on the loudspeaker, though. Yeah.
I'ma set it straight. It's Watergate. Can't stand rocking when I'm in this place.
Oh my God, dude! Yes, it was so fun. But it. Hey, or you could do like Willie Totten did and get Tyler Knight and his own football players to, Baron Pullum, Tyler Knight, Travis Johnson.
Yeah.
That Valley song, remember that?
Man, I need to get a copy of that song, man.
I don't know who produced that, by the way, but it was nice. It was a nice production. The rapping wasn't that great, but I'm just saying, you could use some McKinley guys to make their own run out song.
Why don't I just get Lil Boosie to do it for McKinley?
Can we go on record right now?
If he can do it.
Yeah. I think that would be good. Because he is a McKinley guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. 100. Southside Baton Rouge all day. Across the track.
I mean, you could be like, hey, Torrance.
Yeah.
Torrance, man, listen. Isn't that his name? Torrance? That's a real name, Torrance? Yeah. Hey, Torrance, listen, man. Torrance, I need you to put together a McKinley Black Panther fight song. It's gonna be great. All right.
I'm gonna call him tonight and tell him to do it. Where my song?
Okay.
I need my song for the
all right.
For the hood.
Hey, you do that. I mean,
hey.
Maybe he even makes an appearance at that first home game and sings the song live as they run out.
He could do a halftime.
I'm sorry. Who is OCC Anderson Jr.? It's Blue Panther. Tell him I know. I'm just giving him a hard time, dog.
That's OC. That's that big. He used to work with me in McKinley.
OC, listen, I know it's the Blue Panthers. I like to give Malcolm a hard time about it. But yeah.
Yeah, man. No, it's all
right. Well,
yep. I think that's my cue to exit, bro.
All right, man. It was good talking to you.
I'll talk to you next week. We gotta get back.
Send me the last 2 videos before you go to bed.
I got you. I promise.
Right, peace.
I gotta keep my word. Peace.
Okay.
Chestnut checkers. Holla.